The following program is made possible with the support of Papa John's Pizza, Sam's Club, and PortCityDaily.com.
Hello, I'm Dave Spencer, and we're here today with Coach Earl Smith from New Hanover High School Wildcats with the Sports Rounds Table. We greatly appreciate you joining us, and let's get right to it, Coach. Tell us a little bit about your season there. I know you've got this week off, this coming up time, kind of threw a little curveball to all of us with the change in situation from the State Athletics Association. But first off, congratulations on an outstanding season, and do you have any surprises from the season?
Oh, there's always surprises with teenagers, but yeah, we were very young on our offensive line and quarterback. We had a sophomore that ended up starting, and Blake Walston, and we're real excited about him. He's pushing 1,700 yards after the regular season. You know, we finished up overall 7-4. Had a rough non-conference schedule with Myrtle Beach, Scotland, and Havelock, and then ended up tied with Hoggard for first place. So we end up getting another championship, 2 in a row, so we're happy about that. Like you say, we've got this week off. We're going to practice Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday and give them some time off, and then we'll find out Saturday. We'll have to wait till Saturday to find out who we're going to play.
All right. Well, congratulations again on this conference championship. And I know you had put up a lot of points this last week, or this last Friday night. Tell us the approach you're going to take with having a week off before you start the playoffs, and then coming off of a victory like you had Friday night. What are some of the things you do for the mindset of 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds when you're facing this kind of situation?
Well, we all usually have open dates. We had one earlier in the season, and you usually try to practice those 3 days, but we want to make it fast-paced so that we do a lot of stuff against each other because we don't know who we're going to play. But we're shoring up our offensive line. Not only were we young, but we were injured. We had a couple guys that had ankle injuries, and these last 3 games we started 2 JV players that we moved up. So talent's there. We just got to kind of chore up the offensive line. And the good thing that we did Friday night and probably the last 3 weeks, Blake's really spread the ball around to all of our receivers, and which makes it good for us going into playoffs. People have to defend that.
Right. All right. Well, I was wondering, do you have any highlights for
we
this
sure
week
do.
you'd like
We sure do. Quite a few.
Like to share with us? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Had a pretty good defensive night. Here's a big tackle there by Troy McCaskill for a loss. They get down the goal line here, kind of surprises the first drive, and Grant Daly makes a big stop, and we stop them. Here we have real good blocking up front for fullback Javion Hall. Picks up the big first down.
And now, Coach said you got some young guys for you on that O-line there?
Absolutely, yeah. Our right guard is a sophomore. Right tackle right there is a sophomore. And here Blake connects with tight end Jyree Taylor. Jyree's been consistent all year for our first score. Here nose tackle Jamias Williams. He's going to be playing in Shrine Bowl. Plugs up the middle for us. Usually gets double teamed just about every play, and does a nice job there.
Tends to handle it okay, though.
Absolutely. Here's a real good job by our outside linebacker, junior Troy McCaskill, staying at home on a reverse, plays it, tackles for a big loss right there. Here's our own reverse here by Wiz Vaughn. He's a junior, and he just had a heck of a year. And cuts it up. It's a little off tackle reverse. And Wiz, after the regular season, is sitting at a little over 1,000 yards, 500 rushing, 500 in receptions. Here Blake putting some pressure on us, throws a little swing pass to Javion Hall, our fullback, and takes it in for the score. The second of the night.
Now, Coach, of your running backs, what are some of the characteristics that you're looking for of those guys? I mean, it seems like they're mighty fast.
Yeah, they've got good speed, but our running back is more of a traditional fullback type. We've got Keegan Santos, who you'll see later. Here's a strip by our defensive end, Hayden Bauer, which was a big turnover for us, because it was 7-7 with 4 minutes to go and a half, and we ended up getting 28 points. So here Blake connects. That's Wiz there. Here's Keegan Santos, our other running back. Kind of breaks up here, but he pops it up the middle and puts it in. He's got really good speed, and gonna miss him and Yeoman next year. Here's our other nose tackle, Khalil Toney, with a big stop. Those two guys are weighing in about 280 each, so they're strong.
What are some of your focuses on defense?
Well, Coach Tim Smith is our defensive coordinator. He's been with us for 2 years, came from Charleston, and the thing we wanted to do when he came in, is keep it simple, and we don't do a lot. It's just basic 4-2 defense, actually like the old 4-4 that we ran, you and I remember back in the day, and with a cover 3, and just try to coach them up, play their position, and play aggressive and get to the football.
Right.
And that's worked for us.
All right, are there any things in particular that you're looking for as far as the difference in offense and defensive type players?
We do. It kind of goes back to what I've always done. We try to get our best players on defense, of course, and but with our offense, sometimes we have to do a little battling among coaches, because we have so many. With this offense we use, we try to get some athletes out there, so we have to share sometimes. And we do have a few guys working both ways. That's like in the old days. But like right now, Francis Meehan, who's our backup quarterback, he went in the other night and did a great job second half, and he's going to be playing defense for us in the playoffs.
All right, well, good. Well, what are some of your expectations as far as the playoffs? I mean, I know the ultimate expectation is state championship, but to get there, what are some of the things you're planning on working on?
Like, you know, when this show airs, we're getting ready to practice on Monday. We're going to talk to them about taking it one at a time. That's something we always do. And you know, there's no tomorrow. It's not like you get a second chance. And sometimes the guys start looking at the brackets and seeing who they're going to play down the road. And you don't want to do that. You want to focus, because you know, when you get to this point, stage of the game, even your first round teams are pretty good. Right. And in our case, we're probably going to play Northern Durham or Roxborough Person. And both those teams have had a pretty good year and a lot of success.
Now, I know without knowing your opponent, but can you tell our viewers a little bit about how the playoff situation is going to be developing?
Yeah, this is a different setup this year from the High School Athletic Association. They're actually going to have a Mid-East and an East, and you draw, and also your ranking is on a power ranking too when it comes down to it from max preps. So they look at who you played, and that figures in as far as if there's 4 teams that are equal as far as conference record and so forth. So it's a little different. We're all kind of taking it one step at a time with it.
Okay. Well, we will be keeping our eyes and ears open to see what's going to come up next. And again, congratulations, and we look forward to what's going to be coming here in the next few weeks.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you, and stay right with us. We'll be right back. Well, welcome. It is my privilege and honor to have Mr. Shad Yeoman with us. And Coach, congratulations on a fantastic year so far.
So far, yes, sir.
And this is one of those things. This is just a so far. We've got you got your 3 parts of the season. You got your non-conference, you got your conference, and then you got the sugar daddy part of the conference or the schedule of being your playoffs. So,
yes, sir.
Can you tell us to begin with, what are you looking forward to as far as the playoffs? I know there's still a lot of questions with having this week off due to the circumstances with the storm coming through. So tell us it's kind of hard to plan without knowing who you're playing, where you're going to be playing, or tell us what your thoughts are right now with that.
It's exciting. You know, you get an opportunity to possibly travel somewhere and face an opponent that you hadn't seen and in their stadium, and possibly a home game and that type of deal. So it's exciting to you know, for the unknown. For us, you know, going into the off season, or the bye week, we treat it just like any other bye week. We just kind of focus on ourselves, try to heal up some guys if we need that. And again, like Coach Earl Smith said earlier, we want to play and practice fast and give some of the guys that haven't had an opportunity to showcase their skills on Friday nights an opportunity to see what they can do during the practice phase.
Okay, now it's been a long time since August when you officially start. I mean, I know you've got the spring ball and the summer workouts and all that. What are some surprises you've had this year?
Well, we've had quite a few surprises, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Having a new quarterback in Shad Sidbury come up and take over the helm and lead the offense. He's still got a lot of work to do, but overall, from where we were and where he is now, I mean, I'm impressed with what he's got going for himself. And then the offensive line, having some of those guys step up. We've had quite a few seniors on that particular line, but we also had some young guys come in and step into those roles and be big for us. And obviously, Amik is Amik, but having him, Alston Nally at the fullback spot and pick up some blocks for him. And then we had some guys that didn't play last year, but came in as wide receivers. Alfahim Walcott, he came in and did some big things, huge blocks for us, and opening up some holes for Amik. And then Micah Harrison, who's also a junior, has been a pleasant surprise as well. So proud of those guys and the effort they showed on the offensive side of the ball. And then defensively, we've had a lot of older guys. Our front seven is all seniors. Secondary-wise, I've got one guy coming back, and then I do have one linebacker in Thomas Brasher, who is also a junior linebacker that made waves this year and been very impressive and took over a spot from a senior. So defensively, we're going to be retooling, but we still got those guys, thankfully, for another week. So
well, good.
Excited about it.
And that's we'll plan on it being much longer than just another week.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Absolutely.
All right. Do you have any highlights with us from last week?
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at those if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. So we started out. We ended up going for a fake punt, which was not called. When we're gonna have to shore that up today and fix that in practice. But defensively, they came out in a set that we've seen on film, but they hadn't showed a lot of. And the guys did a great job of executing up at the front line and opening up for those linebackers. And what we do is swarm to the football. We want to get a lot of hats to the football because good things happen when we get a lot of guys to the ball. And Sherrod doing a great job. I'm gonna call him Tariq Sidbury today because I messed up on Jason Billings' name last week, and Coach said I gotta mess with the guys a little bit, so I'm gonna make up some names. And so there's Tariq Sidbury on the.
That's Coach's prerogative here, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. But there's again that front seven. There's Deontay Hicks, and he's been a monster in the weight room, man. He's one of the stronger guys on the team, and as you can see, he kind of did away with that kid and made a huge play on that trap. And there's again my senior linebacker, number 7, Tyler Moore, coming up with a big, huge stop. One of the things that we noticed on film and was our fits had to be correct because those guys got some pretty good plays on, kids having misalignment, those types of things. So we want to ensure those things up so that we had a successful night. And Amik, man, he had a great night. I think he rushed for, in the paper they said he had 250 yards, but he actually had 278. So they kind of shorted him a little bit, and he took the lead in rushing in the conference, and real proud of his effort. And there's I called him Justin Billingsley last week, but that's actually Jason Billingsley, the little brother, 2.0. So he did a great job for us off the edge and picking up some great yardage on the jet sweep. And here's our silent assassin right here, Brian Dabrowski, man. He doesn't say much, but look at that. He's a bowling ball. He's carrying that ball like Charlie Brown. How Charlie Brown used to carry it back in the day? Well, that's how he was holding the ball, and we laughed about that. But he's a monster in the weight room, too. And those guys got an opportunity to find out just how strong he really was. But this was 4th and long right there, and that's a great job of Tariq Sidbury coming up with a great, first down for us. And then again, we got out of field goal range with some penalties, and we ended up going for it on 4th down. And again, Tariq Sidbury comes up with a great play for us and gets us into the end zone for a score on 4th down again. There's a silent assassin. He comes in, sticking his hand in there and gets a big turnover for us. Defensively, we did a great job, setting it up all night. They ended up scoring on a fake punt, which is my fault. Bad call. We ended up fumbling the ball. They pick it up, scoop and score. And then late in the game, we give an opportunity to some young guys that had an opportunity to play. So the testament to the guys and coming out focused on senior night because, as a coach, you kind of worry about the mentality and what's going on through the players' heads. in that particular atmosphere. But those guys did a great job of showing up for us.
Well, wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
sir.
And congratulations again on what has already happened, and we look forward to seeing some great things coming up in the next few weeks, not just in the next week or two, but in the next few weeks
Yes,
to
sir.
come out of Bucktown.
That's right.
So, Coach Yeoman, thank you so much.
you.
And appreciate you joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
And you all please stay with us, and we'll be right back. Well, welcome back with us, and it's my honor to be here now with Coach Craig Underwood.
How you doing?
Doing very well, Coach, and glad you're with us, and welcome to the Sports Roundtable, and congratulations on a great season.
Appreciate it.
You also got another reason for some congratulations that are coming here very shortly, in addition to the Underwood family.
That's right. That's right. Got a baby coming any day now, so we're very excited.
And that's number
3.
Number
Yeah.
3. Oh, I
3.
missed one in there somewhere. All right, so congratulations to you and your lovely wife and the 2 other children that's going to have another. How has that affected, or impacted is probably a better way, how has that impacted you this season?
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a special thing. We always talk about, football gives you that opportunity to build a family atmosphere, and the way the team, the coaching staff, everybody has been so supportive of my wife and I. It has been somewhat of a difficult pregnancy, and they just really rallied behind the parental support and community support. It's really been incredible. The team even threw a baby shower for us, which was really neat. But you do look at the time management and all that's involved with football. Is a handful in itself, and then you look at having a child during the season. It certainly presents difficulty yet a whole lot of excitement. So.
Right. Well, and I know a lot of times folks just don't understand or realize the amount of time and the different opportunities that come with that time with coaches and their families. And so congratulations, wish all the very, very best for you and Nicole, and
I appreciate that.
Just look forward to what lies ahead for that.
Yeah.
And again, congratulations on the season. Another conference championship.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And we've got a week off before we start the playoffs, which is that third special part of the season, your non-conference, conference, and now the playoff time. So can you, if you could, just kind of recap your regular season for us here? And
Well, I'll tell you, it's been one of growth. Some would say the tale of 2 seasons maybe, but we had a very difficult non-conference schedule, and we were competitive in every game except I'd say Clinton is one of the top teams around. They put it on us pretty good, but outside of that, there were 3 games that came within 7 points there total. But we came out of the non-conference at a 1-4 record, and I think as a team, it's a testament to our senior leadership and to our guys continuing to buy in and realizing, we're a couple plays away in most of those games, and it's a different story. And what that leads to is, you go 5-1 in conference, and you got a share of the conference championship and a team that I feel like is peaking as we're heading towards the playoffs, which is where you want to be. So.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, good, and a lot of that comes through the hard work of the players and the hard work of the coaches. So again, congratulations on what has happened and what lies ahead.
That's right.
Again, you had a great season, had a good ball game Friday night. It looked like you did some things on offensive, defensive sides of the ball, and then the special team. So you had a good game to kind of wrap up your regular season. Do you have any highlights from
We do.
last Friday?
We do. I think we've got them ready to pull up, but I'll tell you, we starting, the ground game, this is Shad Wallace. Shad ripped one of those, a 71-yard touchdown run. So anytime you can break those, again, those wow plays, we talk about those impact plays that change the game. And then here's Tony Allen, our other tailback, that comes back with, I believe it was a 64-yard touchdown run. So we had 2 really big plays in the run game, setting a tone. I thought our offense played extremely well. Defensively, I'll tell you, give Topsail a lot of credit for the game plan they brought in. Here you see a great play from Sean Miller and Josh Bell getting a sack. But their Topsail's run game is excellent. This is a big fumble that we forced. They were driving the football. The young tailback they have is exceptional, and the offensive line, Coach Inman does a great job with those guys. So we had our hands full, but I felt like the kids adjusted. It was our senior night, and as Coach Yeoman said, you always worry about, you know, just the way that can, as exciting as that is, it does throw off your typical pregame routine. So here you see a couple inside linebackers with Cullum Crowley and Christian Holler making a big play inside for us. Those guys do a great job. Here we felt like we had a chance to block a punt, and we were able to get in there and get hands on one. That was Reese Moulton and Greg Blanks. Blanks is a senior that really we started seeing some potential for blocking kicks, so we're excited about him. Josh Jones hanging tough in the pocket. He knew he was going to get hit there, but got the pass off to Austin Edwards, and then gives us a short yardage, and not hiding what we're doing here. Just trying to get a push and go winning at the goal line. So you know, those guys really coming along.
So a lot of drive on your offensive front, folks, and then as well on your defensive front. Like you really got under the pads pretty well at it there.
Yeah, I tell you, the offensive line. You know, I mentioned the names before, but I try to. Those guys, you know, they just don't get recognized enough sometimes. But Alex Halkias, Labib Ishmael, and Poppy Poulos, that's our three seniors on the offensive line, and they've done a fantastic job of leading. I tell you what, E.B. Pancook stepped in because of an injury this game and really played well. So I was very proud of him. That was one of the first games he had gotten to play, and he stepped in and made some big blocks. So, you know, the offensive line, just hats off to him. And Coach Locklear, who coaches those guys, does a great job.
All right. Well, wonderful, wonderful, and look forward to some great things coming up for the next few weeks.
That's right.
Looking forward to hearing who your opponent will be, and then to see the kind of output that I know you guys will give on the field.
Well, I'll tell you, we are excited at the opportunity. That's for sure.
Well, great, great. We look forward to hearing many more things coming out of the Viking land.
Sounds
so.
good.
Thank you for being with us, and if you would please hang with us, and we'll be right back. Well, welcome back. It's my honor to have with us today at this time Coach Jeff Turner. Coach,
how are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, sir, and thank you. Thank you for taking your time and coming and being part of this program with us. You had some ups and downs in the season. You know, you started out with some real good victories and had some strong performances and sort of some ups and downs throughout. Are there any surprises you had during the season?
Yeah, well, like you said, it was the tale of two teams. I think when we first started out, we really felt great. You know, we had sort of players in place and we're playing strong. And it seemed like the third game of the season we hit some adversity with some leaders getting injured, and that sort of turned us upside down and forced us to do some things and put people in position where they might not have been beforehand. So it was frustrating, but at the same time, you know, we were trying to teach the kids the adversity and trying to come back, but we were limited, and it was a tale of two teams. And I guess the frustrating part is for everyone is that, you know, felt real good early, but that's part of the whole scheme of things. They learned a lot and have come a long way. So, you know, as much as you want to see it in the win column, right. You see it with some of the character issues and the work ethic and some of the real football things that we talk about. So.
I think you hit a great point right there with a lot of things that just aren't going to be seen by people looking at stats on the Saturday morning or anything along those lines. How do you plan on building on those sorts of things, the successes you've had on the field and off the field, and the way your kids are working?
Yeah.
How are you going to build on that?
Well, I'll tell you, it's already started. What I saw was the numbers. I mean, we were over 100 kids this year, and you know, just the kids that are talking from the junior high schools that are coming up, and hopefully from other schools. I'd like to see more of the kids come from Myrtle Grove that can come to our schools. And you know, we do get hurt sometimes by the other high schools having more of the middle schools gravitating over there, so we need some of those kids. But the kids have been excited. They know that it's a program that, you know, cares about them, that knows what to do. We want to get them to the next level, meaning if they want to go to college and play football or not, it's another avenue. We want to teach them character issues. We want to be part of a team. And you know, Dave, football is really, in my opinion, one of the only sports that can teach you some of those great character issues in life and everything. So there's so much to have about it. and it's grown a lot, you know, from our young kids. But we need the help from those middle schools to fill in some of that, you know, from Myrtle Grove and obviously we get Murray, but that's probably the only school. So.
Okay. As far as your coaches go, what are you doing to help your coaches build on what the successes from this year and then on into the future? How, as a head coach, what are some things you do for your assistant coaches?
Well, they're working hard right now, and we need, you know, more coaches. We only had 2 coaches with CDLs this year, which sort of strapped us. But I thought this year, you know, we sort of matured as a staff. You know, we try to work guys around. A lot of guys are coaching positions that they're not familiar with. But we do need more coaches, and that's something that we need to work on as a school. That's something that I need, that we need as a staff. And I have to say the coaching staff, though, that I had really worked so hard. And they you know, really did everything they could. And, you know, I thank them for that.
Oh, great, great. Well, I know last Friday was a tough one with a, you know, cross-town rivalry coming up, but do you have any highlights for us?
We have some. We had a problem with our film where it went out, but we have some highlights right here, I guess, that Coach Spencer made. And, you know, again, we got some guys in there that, you know, we're getting after it, but we make a lot of mistakes. We need to, you know, we need some more players. Got some guys playing out of position. One guy right there, number 3, is playing basically on a broken leg.
And I know it's a challenge keeping the kids motivated and positive going in, you know, when you're hitting some of these little bumps.
It is. I think that going into this game, I think a lot of seniors, it was hard to keep them focused. I mean, they were focused, but at the same time, they were realizing it was their last game. I don't, you know, I would have liked to see us, you know, do things obviously a little better, but we, you know, the truth and the reality of it is we're limited with what we had in some of the growth, and the growth is there, but it's still not where it needs to be. So I thought the kids came, and not a whole lot of highlights, but it's frustrating for the year. But I look at, you know, I look at the growth and where when you walk into a program that has been depleted and I think is really at its bottom, it's growing a lot, and I think that the growth is there. It's frustrating, like you had said, in the win and loss column, because that's where you want to see it. But there are many other things where we've seen the growth, and that's where, you know, we see it as much.
We'll keep focusing on those.
Thank you, Dave.
I'm sure you will. You and your staff and the kids that are playing for you. Look forward to some good things coming out of Ashley High School, and appreciate you giving us your time today on the show.
Thank you for it. Thank you for the fans.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you. And thank you for viewing. And don't go anywhere. Next week, Joe will be back with a panel of sports analysts who are going to come in and tell you all the things that you thought you might have known, but maybe you didn't know quite as much as you think you did, or at least in their opinion. So they'll get you straight. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.